The Miami Indians called this waterway Saguasibi, which meant coming out river. The name emphasizes the river as a critical connector to Lake Michigan from the Kankakee River. Indeed, the St. Joseph River was one of the most significant early transportation routes for Native Americans, as well as early French explorers and fur traders, helping to provide a nearly continuous water route from eastern Canada all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. Many travelers, both Native Americans and white explorers, were taken by the natural beauty of the St. Joseph River Valley, with its dense hardwood forests, flowing grasslands, and the bounty they provided. The St. Joseph River also provided sustenance for the early communities that began lining its banks: South Bend, Elkhart, Mishawaka, and others. All three cities used the river's natural resources to fuel their early industry and grow their populations. Today known simply as the St. Joe, this picturesque river continues to be a vital community asset. Scores of parks and recreational areas line its banks. It is used extensively for fishing, canoeing, kayaking, and sculling. All three cities are aggressively pursuing more recreational and economic opportunities on their riverfronts. Clearly, the St. Joe River is a vital community asset. But there is a problem. Sewage. Mishawaka, Elkhart, and South Bend all have the same type of sewers used by hundreds of other communities in the northeastern and midwestern United States. Most of the time, these sewers carry sewage directly to the city's wastewater treatment plants for processing. The problem occurs when there is a heavy rainfall. 1/4 to a ½ inch of rain can overload the sewers. When this happens, the system is designed to overflow into the St. Joe River or other waterways rather than backing up in the streets or, worse yet, into homes and businesses. Although these overflows were a standard practice in their day, they are no longer acceptable in the 21st century.
It is the right thing to do for us to eliminate combined sewer overflows. The one point I would like to stress, however, is that CSOs, combined sewer overflows, function the way they were designed to function. It's important that we don't say we have to fix the problem. They're not broken. They function exactly the way they were designed to function. We just have more knowledge now and understand it's not the right thing to do.
This animation will help illustrate how the sewer systems in Mishawaka, Elkhart, and South Bend work. When they were first built around the turn of the last century, the sewers drained stormwater from our streets and sent it directly into the river. As indoor plumbing became widespread, drain pipes from homes and businesses were simply connected to the existing sewers, and stormwater and sewage both went right into area waterways. In the 50s and 60s, the three cities built sewage treatment facilities to process wastewater before pumping it back into the river. During dry weather, this practice works like a separate sewer system. However, when the sewers become overloaded with rain or melting snow, the excess flow is released directly into nearby rivers and streams. In addition to human waste, the excess flow also carries oil and other residue from motor vehicles, fertilizers, pesticides and herbicides, and other pollutants into the St. Joe. Raw sewage overflows can send more than 2 billion gallons of untreated sewage into the St. Joe River between Elkhart and South Bend.
This is really an issue that grows out of the Clean Water Act, and it's something that EPA is looking all across the country to make sure that communities are being good environmental stewards, that are treating their streams and rivers and groundwater properly, that create good health for communities.
The key or the core message here is that we all desire a better environment, and we're working to try to make that.
The St. Joseph River is a unique river in that it actually flows north, very rare in this world, but it has its beginning in Michigan, flows down into Indiana, and then back north through Michigan, the state of Michigan, again to Lake Michigan. But because it's involved with two different states, the federal government thinks that it's a river of keen interest and is very concerned about keeping that river as clean as it possibly can.
Although they represent different sized communities, Mishawaka, Elkhart, and South Bend are facing similar challenges.
South Bend, Mishawaka, and Elkhart share the St. Joe River. It passes through all three of our communities, and what is dumped in one city will affect the next city downstream. And consequently, we are sharing the waterway, we share the consequences of what goes in it, and therefore we share the responsibility for preserving it.
All are expanding treatment plants so they can handle more flows, and they've begun separating sewers in many neighborhoods to remove stormwater flow. They are also aggressively testing new technologies to address the problem and enhance efficiency. Collectively, the three cities have spent over $200 million since 1990 to reduce overflows. It's already making a significant difference. Overflows have decreased by more than 1 billion gallons per year. Longtime residents say the river is noticeably cleaner, and they have fewer sewer backups than only a few years ago.
Over the years, Dad taught me to fish, and I became a very avid fisherman, so I started using the river a lot more. You would notice when you got within 4 or 5 blocks of the river, you could tell it was there. Now you can see the abundance of wildlife that's along the river, the ducks that come back, the fishing that has just been fantastic on the river lately.
But there is much more to be done. All three communities are developing long-term plans to reduce overflows even further. What is required is a common-sense, cost-effective solution to reduce overflows and protect public health, the environment, and the economy.
If we believe that the river is a true asset to our community, look at the other assets that we might have within our community or that we might have personally. And how do you maintain those assets? Or even more importantly, how do you try to enhance and grow those assets? If we just turn our back to this issue, the river will never be the magnet that I think it has the potential of being.
The cities of South Bend, Mishawaka, and Elkhart recognize that a clean St. Joe River is critical to healthy neighborhoods. They're sharing information and working together to find solutions to river pollution. All three cities are committed to achieving the best possible outcomes with long-term plans that spend ratepayer dollars wisely. Every citizen has an important role to play. Here are some of the things you can do to protect our river. Disconnect your downspouts and sump pump from the sewer system. This will prevent clear water from using capacity in the city sewers. Learn how to reduce water consumption. Don't send fats, oils, and grease down the drain. They clog sewers, causing blockages and backups. Clean up after your pets. Their waste adds to the contamination of our waterways. Invite representatives from Elkhart, South Bend, and Mishawaka to meet with your civic, neighborhood, or professional group. And get involved as the cities look at their options for reducing overflows. Your viewpoint matters. There are hundreds of other ways you can contribute to a better quality of life throughout northern Indiana by protecting our beautiful St. Joseph River and the streams that flow into it. The river was vital to Native Americans and our earliest settlers, and it remains so today. The investments we make now will protect the future health and well-being of our children and grandchildren.
This is not an easy thing. Anyone stepping into the shoes of those decision makers, that's big shoes to fill. And knowing also that the decisions that are made today will affect this community and the health of this community for the 25, 30, 50 years.
We all are in this together. And I think it's the most important part is it's the right thing to do.